Triple E EDC back again with another knife video. So this is a collector's knife sheath, and this is the Micro Canadian from Bark River. Now I've got a, I'm going to go ahead and do a short review of this, mainly because it's a short knife. No, I'm just kidding. Mainly because it is a knife that is not so available, so I'll do a short review of it, but it may come back available, and there's always the secondary market. But let me go ahead and thank Mark Goldstein. Mark, thank you so much for continuing to support the channel. Mark sent this knife in for review along with a few others, and I'm very, very grateful for his support. It's guys like you that make this channel possible, so I definitely appreciate it. Let's go ahead and do some size comparisons, because this is a freaking tiny knife. This is the Bark River Adventurer, which looks like a giant next to this thing. Here is the Bradford Guardian 3. As you can see, again, looks like a giant next to this knife. Here is the Bark River Bushcrafter. Oh boy, look at that thing. Next to that, and here is the Bark River Aurora. Right, so you can definitely see this is not the largest knife. And let's go ahead and do a couple others that people might recognize. The Spyderco Mule. And how about the Spyderco Indela and the Delica. So yeah, the Delica absolutely dwarfs this, which just shows you how small it is. And then I'll do our resident small knife here, the TRM Nerd, which still dwarfs it. Okay, so let me go ahead and do a quick review of this. So first of all, this is, like I said, it comes with a collector's knife sheath. I'm assuming when they sell to other dealers that they're using the same sheath, but it could be that there's a different style sheath. This is obviously meant to be a neck knife that's worn, you know, facing down, meaning that it's, you pull it up. If this was your head up here, that you pull it up here like this and pull it out. I suppose you could do something like I've done here and wrap some sort of Velcro or something around it. I don't know if it would stick. Maybe you'd have to work in some other rivets, but you could probably turn it into a sort of a scout carry. But I think it's meant to be, you know, sort of a chain or paracord through here, and then you pull it out facing you. But this thing is absolutely tiny. I have size large gloved hands. It does feel very comfortable because it's got 1, 2, 3 finger grooves and a 4th on the back here, but it's a 3.5 finger knife. And this blade is absolutely tiny. It's convex ground, just like all the other Bark Rivers are going to be convex ground. But it actually is pretty thick for what it is. Let me just show you here's a Delica, next to the Delica, right? So it actually is pretty thick for blade stock. But it is 154 cm, which is kind of perfect for something this size. You know, I think there was a version in S45 EN, which is probably an upgrade to this, but it's kind of unnecessary on a knife this size. But this is pretty good on its own. Generally, Bark River does liners on their knives. You can get liners. These are blue, I guess, blue G10 liners with the JG10 scales. And so you sort of get that very cool translucent effect. So if you've ever seen the JG10 scales with liners behind it, or if you ever look at ordering these, this is sort of what you're looking at. If you order red, you'll get sort of a reddish-orange effect, as far as liners, I mean, and so on and so forth. So, very cool. This actually is a very good cutter for a lot of the general EDC tests that you're going to have, and it is, if you like a small knife, if you really only want a small knife that's not going to scare anybody, that's not going to cause any problems, and you want a fixed blade, then this is an excellent option. I will say that at this size, I don't really see the advantage of a fixed blade, because I don't know that you're really hard using it in a way where a fixed blade is necessary. And I think most people, when you're dealing with something this size, are going to want a folder, and you could probably pack even a little bit more blade length into here. You know, something like a TRM Nerd, or, you know, a Kershaw Launch 4, or, you know, the ProTech Sprint, or the Runt, right? Just very, very good small knives that are folding knives that fit very well in your pocket. But this one is small enough that, hey, throw it in your pocket, even though it's sort of has these loops here for a neck sheath. Throw it in your pocket and, you know, call it a day. Yeah, I mean, this is a great pocket knife. That's honestly what I did. Is I took this and I threw it in my back pocket, and that was how I carried it. And it worked great that way. I could probably throw it in my side pocket. I didn't, though. Didn't want to nick up the sheath with my keys and everything else that I have, because this isn't my knife. But it is something that I, you know, thought about doing and would be definitely okay with. I think that's pretty much it for me. Like I said, it does cut well. But again, a folder I think would be a better option at this size. And I really, by the way, Bark River is a great brand. I really highly recommend Bark River for a lot of different things. I have probably, you know, 10 Bark Rivers currently. I've probably owned, you know, twice that at least. So definitely a big fan of Bark River and can definitely recommend them. If I was going to look at getting one of these, you know, to carry, I would probably look into the Mini Canadian as an option, or the, I wonder if there's a regular size Canadian, but there is a Mini Canadian that has a blade that I believe is about twice this length, or I shouldn't say twice, maybe 1.5 times this length. It's a little under 3 inches. So I think that would probably be a better option for me. But if you like something this size, this is definitely a conversation piece because it's so small, and it really tucks away quite nicely. I hope you guys enjoy this content. Thank you so much to Mark. Thank you for watching, and go ahead and hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell. Thank you guys so much.